Hi, dear Mr. Supervisor. In this video, I would like to share a couple of information about the business structure in Australia, which will provide to the client to consider what's the best option for them to start up a business in Australia. The first one I would like to talk about is the sole trader. Sole trader, obviously, the simple one in Australia. The client just need to set up a register a business name. However, sole trader is not a separate legal entity, which means the sole trader business and the owner itself are combined into one legal entity, and which means they will share the same liability and also the same any contractual or legal responsibility. And it's difficult to raise finance because their assets are mixed together. The second one is the partnership business. So partnership is very similar to sole trader. Partnership allows people to work together so they can leverage their knowledge. However, partnership is defined under the Section 5, subsection 1 of the Queensland Partnership Act, which any persons work together, share a common business, and also towards a profit will regard as the partnership. This is very important because sometimes people could be a partnership which they don't know. And the problem for this is because once they are partnership, they will have to liable for the contract or finance raised by any of the partner. And under this situation, all partner will be liable for what the other partner has entered the contractual liability or financial liability. And these duties will not be ceased even the partnership business has been terminated. So this is a risk there, and for business for partnership. The third one I would like to discuss is about the company. So company basically is registered under the Corporation Act 2001. So Section 119 has defined the registration. The key thing I want to discuss about company is about Section 124, which is the separate legal entity, which is the key difference between company and the other two structure. Under Section 124, a company has separate legal entity, means they can the company can enter contract or actually raise finance, and these are separate from the owner of the business. The owner will be the shareholder, has no relationship with the asset, liability, and any contract of the business. This is come from the very famous Solomon case. So under Solomon case, as the court has held it, as long as the business has been validly incorporated, it will become a separate entity. However, this corporate veil is not unlimited. In some case, the court will lift the corporate veil. One of the famous cases is the Guildford Motor Company versus Horn. In this case, the court has lifted the corporate veil because the corporate is actually formed to escape an existing legal obligation. As such, the court will lift the corporate veil. Under Section 113, which is the most common type of company, which is called proprietary company. So basically, there are two types of company: limited their liability by shares, which means their total liability is actually limited to the shares they have issued. And in these two types of company, one is the proprietary company, and the other one is the public company. And they are all defined under Section 9 of the Corporation Act. Basically, the difference is public company can raise funds from the public, just like the stock market, but proprietary company cannot. Proprietary company also has two separation type. One is the large proprietary company, the small, and also the small one. Section 45(8) of the Corporation Act has defined that these the small proprietary company are the one that under 12.5 million asset value, annual revenue is less than $25 million, and under 50 people will be the small proprietary company. Now, basically, if people want to set up a company, and before the registration of the company, it's hard for them to enter a contract because under common law it's not a enforceable contract. So in Section 131 of the Corporation Act, it has allowed the company to rectify the NEP registration contract. So the people that who raise this contract is the promoter can enter contract for the company before its registration. To set up a company is relatively simple now, because under Section 141, there's a list of what we call replaceable rule. According to Section 134, that the company actually can set up use a constitution as the internal management rule, and also they can use the replacement rule under Section 141 as the internal management rule mechanism, or both. So both constitution and the replacement rule will be the internal governance tool to manage the company. So the constitution or replacement rule will define the role and responsibility of the people in the company, like director, company secretary, and also what the company can do. For example, they can enter contract or not. So this is very important. For a company, so the director will be an agent of the company, because the company itself is a separate legal entity, but it is not a real person. So they need an agent to run the company, to enter the contract on behalf of the company. So the people that has the authority to do that will be the director and some important person. They, under the Corporation Act, they will be given an authority. Sometimes we call actual authority or apparent authority. So actual authority has implied or expressed authority. Basically, it's like people like managing director or CEO, they will have some common authority. However, director, while they have authority, they also have a duty. Okay, so even they are limited company, limited liability, it doesn't mean their duty is limited. Their duty also will be, they need to fulfill their duties, which, for example, they cannot cause the company trading insolvency. So Section 588 has specified about trading insolvency. So I guess there's other fiduciary duties that the director need to fulfill for the shareholders, and therefore that the company need to be aware of. So these are all I want to provide to the customer. Thank you very much.